Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. First of all, I just want to say thank you to you all because it is because of you all that I pulled the trigger on this particular shoe that I'm going to highlight in this video. I will highlight more than just this one style of shoe. It's actually 3 pairs of shoes total, but it was because of you all that I purchased this bonbon loafer from Flattered, and that's kind of what kicked off this whole collection of items from Flattered. So I will talk very briefly about the brand in case you are not familiar with them, because they are one of my favorite brands for chic, modern, minimal accessories. Unfortunately for now, they are just an accessories brand. I don't know if they ever have future plans to expand into clothing, but if they did, I'd be all about that. But for now, they just have shoes and bags and belts and whatnot. So yeah, nice things to choose from. They are called Flattered, which I'm not like the biggest fan of the name, but it's fine. It is what it is. I don't think it's that reflective of their brand. I think their brand is like cooler and more modern than that personally, but to each their own. They are a Swedish brand. They are based out of Stockholm, so they have that really beautiful minimal Scandi style that I love so much. I've done an entire video about the Hedda bag, which is kind of how I fell in love with the brand. This is my most worn Hedda bag. This is the smallest version. It also has a little crossbody that you can take out of here. And I actually have about 4 of these bags now, which is like a little embarrassing to admit, but I will let you watch that full-blown video if you want to know more about that bag. But that's really what helped me connect to the brand. And then I started getting into more of their shoes. So this shoe, which is called the Angela, I think you can actually still get it, is one of my favorite pairs of black suede shoes of all time. It's actually the most comfortable black suede shoe that I own. It's even more comfortable than my AD Judy black suede pointed toe shoes that I love so much. I love the big chunky heel. I love the really beautiful kind of unique front. I love the pointed toe. I wear these all the time, and they're fantastic. I also think Flattered has a really great price point. So their stuff is like 100% leather. It's really high quality, but it's still very accessible. So for example, the purses start from $200 and go up to $400 to $500. The shoes are around the $200, $300 range. So I love how accessible they are. And yeah, that's just one of the many things that I love about the brand. So let's jump right into it. All of the things that I picked up, actually this bonbon loafer is, I believe, a staple for them, but I did end up picking it up in another color that I think is new for spring summer, but I don't want to misspeak on that. So this is kind of a classic style of theirs that they, I think, have brought back year after year after year. And then another pair of shoes that I'm going to talk about is this beautiful black suede kitten heel that I'm going to get into. And this particular style is new for spring and summer. In fact, I talked about this on a little YouTube short that I did about Flattered. It sold out originally, but then it came back in stock, which I was very happy about. Unfortunately, I think it might have sold out again, but I got my hands on them. So very excited to talk you all through these like 3 different shoes, as well as how I'm imagining myself styling them for the spring and summer. I think it's going to make for some very cute outfits. So let's start with the most kind of classic of them all. Again, this is called the Bonbon Loafer, and it is a really good loafer if you're wanting something that is a lot like the loafer from the Row that has been really popular, or if you're just wanting a nice classic loafer that doesn't have any hardware or any extra, you know, there's no tassels or anything like that, like some loafers have. So if you want just like a beautiful minimal leather loafer, this is such a great option. The reason I was really interested in this, of course, was the fact it was very similar to the one from the Row, but also because I had heard such incredible things about the comfort of this loafer. And let me tell you now, it is all 100% true. This incredible shoe will start molding to your foot after the first time that you wear it. I'm not joking. I think I wear these shoes like pretty much every day now. I think I actually wear these shoes more than my Birkenstocks, which If you're new to this channel and you don't know me, hi, I'm Mary, and I wear my Birkenstocks like every single day. I freaking love Birkenstocks. I've done a whole nother video on Birkenstocks, especially the Boston clogs. But these are so comfortable, so fantastic, and yeah, I just can't wait to tell you all about them. So with Flattered, I always order a size 10. I am usually a size 10, which kind of maps over to an Italian 40 for Flattered, and that works well for me. In a lot of other brands, the European brands, or even like British brands, so for example, Jimmy Choo, I'm usually a 41. So it kind of depends. I'm either a 40 or 41. In the row, I am a 40. So I can kind of go back and forth between them. But what I've discovered with Flattered is that I am definitely a size 10 or a 40 for them. So from a sizing perspective, that is what I recommend, is just go with your kind of standard, more like American sizing, and don't feel like you need to size up. This is the Bon Bon leather loafer in black. It comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colors, which is really nice. However, I'm not a huge fan of all of the colors, and when I knew that I fell in love with this particular pair, there were a couple other colors that I have in mind that I will get into in a second, but yeah, it really took me a while to be like, okay, what's the next kind of color that I should get? But I think you cannot go wrong with the black. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. The only thing, I think I'm gonna have to put a little thing on the bottom to make it a little less slippery. But I usually have to do that with most of my shoes. They don't really come. I will probably end up getting these resold at some point just because I live in New York and I always have to get all of my shoes resold. So yeah, that's the name of the game. But for now, I will put like a temporary pad on here so that it doesn't slip. So yeah, I absolutely love these loafers. In terms of styling loafers, I do have a couple other pairs of loafers. I have a pair of Gucci Princeton loafers, and then I have a pair of loafers, vintage loafers from Chanel that are really great. Kind of similar in the sense that they don't have any hardware. They just have the little CC kind of embellished in on here. I love how even more simple these are. And so I also like how these have a hint of casualness because of the soft kind of leather. They read a little bit more like almost like a moccasin than a really, you know, uptight leather with like a tassel or something. And so I also like that about these loafers. I think it makes it easier to style them, although I would still style them in the same way that I would style my Gucci loafer or my Chanel loafer. And what I mean by that is I really like pairing a more structured kind of traditional shoe like this with more oversized kind of baggy items, or items that might need a little bit of sophistication to kind of balance it out. So the first outfit, for example, let me just show you what I mean, because a picture is worth 1,000 words, is this outfit for spring and summer. I have on the beautiful loafers and I've paired it with a skirt from Dish. And then I've really kind of taken more traditional pieces. So the top is this gorgeous merino wool kind of light knit sweater from COS that has this really fun little scarf detail. You can remove the scarf, but I actually think the more traditionalness of the scarf is a fun kind of matching with the loafer. But then the skirt is very short. Thank God it's a skirt, because if this was a skirt, it would be like, whoa, showing probably too much. But I love that the skirt is kind of youthful and sexy, and I think it really helps balance out the maturity of the scarf at the top and the loafer. I think this is a really fun outfit for spring and summer. I also love the contrast of like the cream against the black. I love pairing black and white. You're going to see it with a lot of these videos, or a lot of these outfits, because I just think it's really fun, obviously, to do that kind of a contrast. It just adds a little more visual interest without having to add, you know, color or pattern, add some fun shapes. And so, yeah, I think this is a really, really, really fun, cute little outfit for spring, summer that will just be so great that I'm even comfortable, honestly, wearing. I don't know if I'd wear this into the office, actually, just because it's a little bit short, but I would easily wear this out and about on weekends, especially if I'm like walking around Soho, popping into shops, going to the bookstore, just because these shoes are so incredibly comfortable that I could wear them everywhere. I wear them all around New York City, and that's like super, super important to me. But I love that they are still put together, but like very comfortable. So I think this is a great example of sort of having a little bit of a contrast in terms of casual pieces with more traditional pieces. Another outfit that I love is taking my oversized cuffed denim jeans that I featured in my cost video and pairing that with the loafer as well. I love that you get a little bit of the skin with the ankle and a little bit of the forearms showing. But other than that, everything's pretty baggy and casual, especially with like the baggy, more oversized t-shirt. And I love just kind of taking actually this exact sweater and just throwing it over my shoulders. I think it makes for a fun, casual kind of weekend spring outfit when I just want to go out and about. And then if we stay out for dinner or something, I can throw, you know, the sweater on. I'm also really enjoying this, taking this tan version of the bag from the row that I have. I have this in both black and tan, and I love mixing this with that cream and black combo. I think this color combination is really, again, very traditional, but it's a nice pop and a nice contrast, and it's very classy, I feel like. So I love this look of like the blue jeans with the t-shirt, with the loafer. It's kind of like a fun, almost like 50s looking outfit, but it still is modern. And yeah, I'm very, very, very into this. So there's a ton of different ways that you can style this loafer. I mean, I would still also wear this with more of a traditional trouser as well. I would just make sure that I'm playing with like looser shapes and not leaning into like too many traditional items because, you know, God forbid, everything's super traditional. But in general, I think these are great. I also love that you can wear these, as you can see with all these outfits, like with jeans or with skirts or with dresses. Like they're super, super versatile. And I think it's really the nice, beautiful shape. They're very like, they're streamlined to the foot. They're not like a super chunky loafer, which I love. And so, you know, they just kind of like skim the toe. I love that they cover the toe because again, walking around New York City or going into the office, like nobody needs to see your toes. So I think they're great. And I think they're really versatile for that. So yeah, I just think they're perfect. You can style them with all kinds of different things. And I think they're a great shoe for travel as well. In terms of, I told you about the size, but from a price perspective, this shoe is $225, which again, for a really well-made, they're made in Spain, beautifully designed loafer, you can't, I don't think, get better in price than this. This is a really, really great price for such a high quality shoe. And I think I actually ended up getting like a 10 or 15% off as well. So always check for coupon codes. If I find one that works, I will leave it linked in the description box below. But I actually think I ended up picking these up for around $184. So under $200, which is a steal in my opinion. So, and I also love that, I mean, I said they're comfortable, but it's not just the soft leather that makes these really comfortable, but there is a nice little bit of arch support and padding on the inside. So that's also why I feel really comfortable kind of wearing these around the city, almost like a tennis shoe, because they do support your foot as well. So after I fell in love with the black version of these shoes, I thought, I think I want another pair. So I told you I would get into the other colors. They have a really beautiful light colored, beige they call it. However, I didn't know how well this was really going to vibe with the rest of my wardrobe. I think it would look good with whites and stuff, but part of me was just like, you know, I really wish I could just get the white maybe. So then I looked at more of the cognac color. They call it a bourbon color. This one for me was a little bit too similar to a moccasin because it is made out of a beautiful kind of suede material. It was a little too casual for me. It was a little too Western for me personally. So then I got to the white and I thought, is this a good idea or not? And I actually went on Pinterest and I looked up white loafer outfits because I just wasn't sure. I was like, am I really going to wear this that much? And then I will say there is another color which is sold out, but it is a gray suede, which again, I wasn't a huge fan of the suede. I think because it's already kind of got that like moccasin look to it, I actually preferred the leather and for it to be more structured. I will say, even though all of these are made out of what they just say cow leather, that This leather feels a little bit heavier than you can see the shiny plushness of the black leather. So I'm hoping these will break in just as well and be just as comfortable. In full disclosure, I just received these in the mail, so I have not worn these out and about yet, but they look and feel like they have obviously the same arch support and everything like that. But once I started styling outfits with these, I actually think I'm going to get a ton of wear out of them, in full disclosure. And even though they are white leather. And so I think even if they get some minor scuffs and stuff, they're going to be a lot easier to take care of. And I think they're going to wear really beautifully over time, as opposed to like a white suede sneaker or something. So yeah, I actually think that I am really, really going to love these in white. I think they're going to be such great go-tos for spring and summer. They're the same price, $215. Again, I think I might have gotten some kind of discount and I got them in a size 10. And then in terms of styling, I have a few different combinations of outfits to show you with this. So I will say that this is very much like a stark white. It is not a cream. And so I really enjoyed pairing it with just a really white t-shirt and kind of color blocking that out on both the top and the bottom. So here is just a very basic, more spring outfit where I've got, again, those same kind of cuffed jeans that look so great with these, and then a white t-shirt, and then a little COS card jacket thrown over it, and then with my little tan row bag. So that's the nice thing about white, is that it looks really, really good with a lot of like navies and browns and tans and things. So very excited to kind of play in that color space. But again, the other thing that I love about white is I love this contrast of black and white. So I actually love that I'm going to be able to wear these, I think, really well with a lot of my black stuff, which is kind of important to me. And that's where I think actually these are going to be quite wearable. So for example, I'll take the same cuff jeans and then add what I'm wearing right now, which is this white t-shirt and then the little sweater over the top, and then just like my little black savet bag with silver hardware. And I think this is a really fun outfit. It's a little more elevated, and I love that it doesn't have to be a sandal, again, because walking around New York, I want to have comfortable shoes that have a little more arch support. And I love that these are just like a little bit dressier than something like a Birkenstock. I think it balances out the bagginess of the jeans and the t-shirt and the sweater, and adding the structure of both the savet bag with the loafer. I just think it looks really, really good, and something that I feel super comfortable wearing into the office or just out and about in the city. I think it's super, super cute. And then obviously you could take the sweater off if it's getting super hot, and then switch it out for more of like a day bag, I would say. Again, I absolutely love this color combination. So, so, so cute. And then if you wanted to see it going like really nautical spring, summer, to be honest, I don't know how much I would actually wear this unless I was on vacation. I just threw on some little white linen quince shorts that I love, the same little white t-shirt, the little loafers, my little row bag, and then that same COS car coat. And then actually it looks a little black in the video, but it is a navy cashmere sweater. This is like so preppy, which like if this is your style, awesome. But like I do kind of love the like fun nauticalness of this. Like this is something I would wear if I was down in Georgia, like visiting my parents or something. But yeah, I think this is a really just like cute. And I also think it shows you how cute this looks with just like a simple little linen short. I love that it balances like out the casualness of that by giving it, again, a little more structure without it being like a flip-flop or a Birkenstock or something. This is definitely more elevated and a little bit classier looking. And then another outfit I could totally see myself wearing into work is I took my little COS cropped trousers that I love so much. I called them out in one of my best purchases of 2024 video because they truly are. And I love a cropped pant for spring, summer, because again, you want a little bit of that openness on the ankle, get a little bit of that airflow going. And I love the contrast of the white loafer against the black trouser. And then I've just kept the same white t-shirt, put this little same sweater over the shoulder in case I need it, because in my office it is very, very cold, like most offices. And then I just added this little bag from the row for an extra pop of color and a little bit of extra contrast, because I do think, yes, I love playing with black and white, but if I'm gonna play with black and white, you've got to add like a third color in, just because it can look a little too crazy and matchy-matchy otherwise. And then if I wanted to look a little more kind of dressed up or just, I don't know, add a little bit of more visual interest, if you're like, okay, cool, you can style anything with a t-shirt. I did end up purchasing the Raimi top in white, like I said I was going to. If you watch my last dish video, I was obsessed with this top in black. So I ordered it immediately in white, and I love the white as well. So this is what I'm wearing it with. I love that this would be so cute, like not to be all 2000s, but you know, super cute going day to night. So I wouldn't probably wear this shirt into the office, but this would be such a great weekend shirt because I'd wear it out and about in Soho and then like to dinner with my husband or something. So again, same black trousers, paired it with this. I just tucked the little sheer shirt into it so you can see the cool little crop top underneath, but that you really see the accentuation of my waist by having it tucked into the trousers. And then again, you have that beautiful contrast of the row bag in this gorgeous brown against the black and the white. So I think this is a really fun outfit for spring, summer. So yeah, I actually think these are going to be a lot more wearable than I initially thought. And I'm really happy that I have them both now because these will be my, well, let's be honest, I'm totally going to wear these in the spring and the summer as well. But these can be my like spring, summer ones, and these can be my fall, winter ones, and they'll live happily ever after together. And then the final pair of shoes that I want to talk about is not a loafer. I already showed you them, but they are this little kitten heel. These are called the Ninnie suede black heels, and I really hope they're not sold out when you see this. I hope they do another restock. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, they did restock them for me because they were sold out, and then I just added my email and said like alert me when they're available, and then I got an email and sure enough they were available. So super happy that, ooh, to take the little sticker off the bottom. Super happy that I ended up getting these, but there were many things that drew me to these shoes in addition to just the fact that I already have a black suede pair of heels from Flattered that I absolutely love. So I figured just from like a comfort perspective and a wearability perspective that these were probably going to be really great as well. These shoes were actually more expensive than the loafers. These were $275, so almost in the $300 price range. But again, they have really nice padding and like arch support inside, which is I think why they're such a nice comfortable shoe. Other things that I think are very comfortable, even though I know that like a pointed toe can be kind of tough on the toesies sometimes, I love this really thick strap in the back because I think something like that is far more comfortable on the foot than like a skinny little leather one that's gonna dig. So I'm very interested to see how these end up wearing. You can also see the inside here. They have this sort of little non-slip situation so that I guess the strap stays on your foot. And I really adore a style of mule, like a slingback like this, because I think it's honestly the most flattering design for the leg. Because I'll show you in the cutaways, but a style like this, by having the strap go around the back of the foot, it makes the shoe wearable because it's you know, secure. Like it's not going anywhere. It's not like you're just wearing a mule and it like flapping in the wind. So it's very secure, but you have the whole rest of the foot open and you get that beautiful elongation of the leg that you would normally get with a mule. So that's what I really love about this particular kind of style. I actually talk about this in a video that's coming out a little later about wedding shoes, and I talk about my wedding shoes, how they were the Aquazuras with a little sling back like this, and how much I loved that kind of elongation of the leg. So did just want to call this little design feature out because I think it's very underrated and I think it makes for a really attractive shoe. I will say the only thing I'm a little worried about is how tiny, skinny, I mean, it's really dainty and it's very ladylike, but I just hope that I don't fall into any sidewalk cracks in New York with this. It's definitely easier to walk in a big old shoe like this than something like this, but this is very beautiful and very ladylike. So we shall see. The heel is teeny tiny. It is, I think, 1.18 inches or 30 millimeters. So really tiny, very ladylike heel. And then I have styled this in a few different ways, but I absolutely love a pointed shoe. I've talked about this, God, I can't even remember which video, but I did a video where I talked about some AD shoes. I have these black suede, well, I actually have them in black suede and chocolate brown, the Judy suede shoes, and they are a pointed toe kind of kitten heel similar style, and I adore them. I think they make every outfit look just like so much cooler and more ladylike and put together. So there's so many different ways that you can style this, but I first just want to show you how flattering and how gorgeous this is on the leg. Like, look at how elongated my leg is. Granted, I'm wearing a very short skirt. This is that dish skirt, but how cute is this for like a cute little date night, cute little dinner outfit, just like throwing these shoes on with my little savet pochette. Oh, I think this is so flattering and just like really, really pretty, and it just makes my legs look miles long, which I have really short legs. So between the pointed toe and then the sling back, this is doing wonders for an area of my body that is not my favorite, in my opinion. But if you want to see it styled with other outfits that I had before, if you wanted to take that more kind of daytime look where I had the rammy kind of sheer shell top, this would be such a cute, again, nighttime, you know, drinks with girlfriends where you want to look cute, but you don't want to look like that dressed up. I just think it's nice to kind of elevate things a little bit by adding this. And again, I love the elongation of the foot and that you really show a lot of the foot and the ankle. I think it's very pretty and very dainty looking. Oh, I just think these are such fun shoes. I also love how, again, covered the toe is. That's like one thing I love so much about these is that Phoebe Philo-esque old Celine cut and how far up it comes. I just think it's very architectural, and it's a little bit different from a lot of the shoes that you see out there, the pointy toe shoes. So I think this is a really, really cute outfit as well. And then even just pairing it with like a super casual of an outfit as this top with the sweater and then the big cuff jeans, I think it adds, again, a little bit of ladylike, a little bit of properness to all of these more masculine kind of oversized shapes. And then the dainty little savet pochette. I think this is such a cute outfit. Ugh, I would love wearing this into the office. I just think it's full of all these really fun contrasts, and I'm just, yeah, very, very into it. So yeah, I'm very excited. I think I have really fantastic purchases, and yeah, I'm just really pumped. I love Flattered so, so, so much. And if you have not heard of this brand before and you've never bought anything from them, oh my gosh, I am so excited to introduce you to them because they are just such a fantastic, fantastic small business. So I hope you all enjoyed this, and yeah, I'll see you all in my next video.